Dan,
John.
how we doing?
Fine.
All right, I have a question.
Okay.
PTSD. No, so I was watching a piece. I'm a big Gary Vee fan, and he was talking about how you treat people, work with you, for you, however you like to term it, doesn't really matter, but how you treat them is really important. Now, for some people, I just said that. For some people, the fact that you say, "Hey, I work with you," has a lot of meaning to them rather than saying you work for me. So I should be careful there. But he was talking through how, hey, and certainly in sales, the cash is king. Number one thing people tend to look for is the money and what is it, and that's what drives them, and that's not a bad thing as long as they're well rounded. But he started talking through the look. Some people just want to know that they can come in, quietly do their job, work for 8 hours a day, and you appreciate what they do. Other people want to know, hey, when my mom just passed away, you'll work with me to get more time off, and that's what's really important to me. And it ties it back a little bit to the conversation we did a few days ago around raising kids. You don't treat your kids the same way because they're different people and they respond differently to things. Same thing in a work environment and a sales team. Money's going to drive the vast majority, but there are other things that drive salespeople, and there are other things that drive the support people around them. And so, how you engage like that, I think, is very important, while at the same time maintaining standards. You still have to meet standards and having accountability and all those kinds of things. But can you talk a little bit about treating salespeople and maybe the support staff around them differently based on who they are, and that it's okay to do so?
It starts with asking them what motivates
Yes.
them.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think most people don't know the answer to that
Yep.
themselves. If you were to ask me what motivates me, I could tell you, but that's because it's in my world. It's what I coach people on all the time. But
Yep.
I think most people don't know what really motivates them. Here's kind of an asterisk to everything you're talking about.
Yeah.
Very few people are actually money motivated. And here's what I mean by that. Most people don't just want to make money for the sake of making money.
Right.
Most people want to make money because of what it does. It gives
Right.
them safety, security. It allows them to buy things, go places, do things, whatever, right? That's the key is when you're talking to a salesperson, what are you motivated by? And they say, well, money. Well, why? Well, I want to get this, or I want to do this, or I want to have that. That now, if you're their manager, becomes the carrot that you're leading them with.
Yep.
Somebody wants to buy a new boat, that's what you're helping them with. Let me help you get the sales up so you can go out and buy that boat. But some people, to them, it's more important to have time off. Hey, I don't want to work Fridays. Okay, well, if you don't want to work Fridays, get all your behaviors done during the week, Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll see
Figure
you
it out.
Friday.
Yeah.
So at the end of all this, what I'm trying to get at, John, is we need to be asking our employees, what does motivate you? And not just let that question be out there and they answer, but really dive deep, like, well, why? And how do I help you become more motivated with that or whatever? And that having those heart-to-heart conversations really is going to be eye-opening for a lot of management.
Yeah, and I think it goes back when you go back a few decades and it was, hey, I hired you, that's the job, you do it, you go home, I see you tomorrow. And it's nice that the world is evolving where people can say, hey, I can be doing the same job inside the same company, and he gets treated the way he wants to, she gets treated in the fashion she wants to, I for me, but we're all meeting the goals that we have. And so there's that evolutionary side to that. But it's almost like talking to a prospect to some degree. You're trying to get to what matters, what motivates, all those kinds of things. And a really good manager leader does that
Yeah.
and stays with it.
And we have to, in the world of sales, there's one caveat that we have to be very careful of. And a lot of times I'll ask a salesperson what motivates you, and they go, well, I just want to help people and I want to, solve their problems. And my first response to that answer is, well, then you should be working for a nonprofit. So we have to be careful. Is what motivates us really part of our job description? Because let's face
Yes.
it, in the world of sales, we should be motivated to make more money, to do more things with that money, way more than anything else. And so just be careful when you're asking people the question that they're answering what should be appropriate for that job.
That's in alignment with the role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it.
There we go. All right, everybody. See you again tomorrow.
Take care.